DigiWise was created to solve a simple but frustrating problem: the countless hours that developers, project managers, and analysts spend every day juggling between multiple tools just to keep stakeholders updated. Our client identified that while project management tools like Asana or Jira are great for tracking progress, they fall short when it comes to providing real-time analytics. On the other hand, data analytics platforms like Power BI or Tableau excel at reporting back but lack integration with day-to-day project workflows. That gap is where DigiWise steps in. DigiWise is a one-stop platform for project management and live analytics, designed to bring everything together: planning, tracking, analysis, and reporting in one seamless environment. By combining productivity and intelligence, DigiWise helps teams spend less time switching tools and more time building what matters. Our mission is simple: to help clients think smarter and build faster. The market for project management tools is competitive and rapidly expanding, with major players such as Asana, ClickUp, and Notation. However, very few solutions offer real-time analytics tightly integrated with their project workflows. DigiWise targets a niche yet high-value segment of that market: teams who require both project control and instant analytical insight. The core audience includes developers and technical project managers who rely on the live performance metrics to make data-driven decisions, small to medium enterprises that want to streamline operations without investing in multiple software subscriptions, enterprise teams seeking customizable, analytical-rich solutions for strategic oversight. We selected these audiences because they represent a growing group of professionals frustrated by fragmented tools and outdated data. DigiWise meets their need of clarity, integration, and control, all in one platform. DigiWise implements time-saving and project scalable features like list views to get the key aspects of projects displayed in one place and have all your tasks and milestones easily readable. Notes for getting thoughts to paper or screen in this case. Kanban for segmenting your project into key phases. Calendar for tracking your tasks throughout a calendar year. Gantt for tracking products, timelines, and viewing your bottlenecks. A customizable dashboard so that you can choose and see what matters to you as soon as you open the site. Drag and drop data imports. Get your boring spreadsheets ready to show your shareholders with the wave of a cursor. DigiWise is a cloud-based project management and analytics tool that combines workflow organization with real-time performance tracking. Its modern design, seamless integrations, and customizable dashboards make it adaptable for any team size or project style. We will use a tiered subscription model that scales with size and needs of each team. A free trial introduces users to the platform risk-free. A starter, professional, and enterprise plans provide flexible pricing that grows with the business. This transparent structure ensures accessibility while maintaining profitability and customer loyalty. DigiWise is entirely web-based, accessible anywhere on any device without installation. All customer interaction from sign-up to subscription management occur directly through our official website, which also hosts product demos, documentation, and support resources. Our promotional strategy blends digital marketing and direct engagement, targeted ads, and trade show participation to demonstrate live analytics features to professional audiences. This goal is to show potential users that DigiWise doesn't just manage projects, it helps you understand them better. DigiWise is built by and for project-focused professionals. Our development team includes engineers and analysts who understand the pain points of project tracking and reporting. Our customer support is people first, responsive, knowledgeable, and dedicated to helping every user succeed, regardless of technical skill level. The platform was developed with a focus on simplicity and automation. Quick onboarding allows users to get up their workspace in minutes. Automated data syncing ensures analysts are always up to date. Agile development cycles allow us to continuously refine the product based on client feedback and emerging needs. Even as a digital platform, DigiWise provides tangible indicators of quality and credibility. A clean, professional user interface designed for clarity and efficiency. Live demos and case studies are available on our website. Consistent branding and design language across all materials. Every touchpoint from the login screen to marketing visuals reinforces our brand's reliability, intelligence, and modern professionalism. In summary, DigiWise isn't just another project management tool, it's a complete ecosystem that integrates real-time analytics, intuitive design, and customer-focused marketing to deliver maximum value. Through our understanding of the client's needs, a clear target market, and a strategic marketing mix, DigiWise positions itself as a smart, efficient, and future-ready solution for teams that want to manage and measure their success in one place.
Our team inherited an established tech stack from the previous group, which provided us with a solid foundation to build upon. Let's talk about how we leveraged the tech to push past the competition. The front end was created using React and Vite. React is a library for creating scalable components that suit a project management tool such as ours, where you need multiple views of the same data. Vite is designed to be an efficient tool to provide faster development experience that with instant server start and to see real-time changes without the build time. The language we used was TypeScript, and this was especially useful for our application where we have multiple complex relationships, projects, tasks, and users. Type safety gave us the safety net we needed to prevent bugs before they reach production. Lastly, we used ShadCN library where we can reduce coding time to build a more consistent and unified environment. We used hooks for global accessible functions throughout our code, allowing us to enforce our DRY principle of not repeating ourselves. Okay. The backend is created with Nest.js, which is a modular, scalable Node.js framework. We scoped many different features with multiple layers. A clear problem for scalability, Nest.js allowed us to give each feature its own service layer, which helped us manage the complexity. We used TypeORM, which is an ORM that can run Node.js and TypeScript. We used ORM to map entities with database tables. Complex and interconnected entities that TypeORM handled for us automatically, handling object-to-table and table-to-object conversation. Yep. In the future, it will also allow for more complex relationships to be implemented. The database is created with Postgres, which is the largest open source database that emphasizes extensibility. For our platform, users need to filter and search their work in multiple ways at once. Postgres SQL supports for complex queries that lets users find exactly what they're looking for and quickly. Postgres SQL features transactions with atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability, properties, automatically updatable views, materialized views, triggers, foreign keys, and stored procedures.
DigiWise uses Nest.js with Passport.js to manage authentication. We've implemented multiple authentication methods. GitHub authentication that handles the OAuth code exchange, validates the return tokens, then links the GitHub identity to a user. JWT authenticating, that is authenticating tokens for every API request. It checks a signature and decodes the user session payload to enable stateless authentication. We use a custom Passport.js strategy to authenticate users through the GitHub app. Instead of relying on OAuth flow, this approach performs a code exchange with GitHub, validates the token, then links it with the verified user. This method ensures that the user signing in is a verified GitHub user and enables DigiWise to use their GitHub repository. I think I fucked up. Once a user has successfully authenticated, DigiWise uses JSON Web Tokens, better known as JWTs, to secure all API requests. The server uses a JWT that the client includes in the request using the bearer token header. With Passport.js, DigiWise validates the token signature, checks expiration, and then decodes the embedded session data, all while staying stateless, meaning that the session state is never stored on the server. This stateless method ensures scalability and reduces server overhead and allows the backend to trust incoming requests through the token alone. To ensure the strength of this process, we've implemented RSA key pairs. This means that the token is signed with the private key on a server and is then verified using a public key. This ensures that even if the public key was ever exposed, the attacker won't be able to forge a valid token. Now, we'll talk about system security. Two main threats we identified are SQL injection and cross-site scripting. DigiWise implements strong security measures across the stack to protect user data and application integrity. To prevent SQL injection, the database interactions go through TypeORM query parameter rather than raw SQL. This means the user's input is never directly inserted into a query as a string. In this query, QBWare defines our filter condition for the database request, telling TypeORM what records to return. The string contains a placeholder repository ID that marks where the real value will be inserted rather than calling real SQL. the object contains the actual value. TypeORM automatically sanitizes and escapes this input before executing the query. The separation between the query and structure and the user value ensures that any input is treated strictly as data, preventing attackers from injecting malicious SQL. On the front end, we defend against cross-site scripting using the DOM Purify library to sanitize any user-generated HTML before rendering. For example, this line is used when rendering HTML content. The getValue function retrieves the user input, then passes it through to be sanitized. DOM Purify then scans the string and removes any malicious HTML or JavaScript, such as script tags, inline event handlers, or embedded code. In short, this implementation ensures that no matter what data a user submits, we can render it as safe and remove any malicious code that may be passed.
We organize our Postgres SQL schema into 4 domains: core entities for users and organizations, project management for tasks and workflows, GitHub integration, and metrics. We use TypeORM to define entity models as TypeScript classes. Each entity, like project, card, or user, was defined once, and TypeORM generated these into database tables. Tasks have assignees, belong to projects, have subtasks, and block other tasks. TypeORM lets us define these relationships with decorators. Many-to-one, for example, automatically set up foreign keys and constraints.
Wait.
We use foreign keys to ensure tasks couldn't reference non-existing users or projects. Unique constraints prevented duplicates, like ensuring each project had a unique name. Cascade rules maintain consistency. When a project was deleted, all its tasks, notes, and sections were removed automatically. We configured these through TypeORM decorators at the entity level. TypeORM mitigations managed schema changes. When we added features, we generated a migration that created tables, added columns, and modified constraints. The team kept local databases in sync, and deployment meant running pending migrations. PostgreSQL's JSON-B columns stored dashboard widgets, configurations, and custom metadata as JSON without requiring schema changes.
Our API follows RESTful conventions with a modular architecture. Every endpoint is neatly packaged under the API prefix and organized by domain: authentication, users, repositories, metrics, and project management. We use DTOs throughout for automatic type coercion, alongside class validation decorators and our validation pipe, which strips and transforms anything that enters the backend. Alongside TypeORM's parameterized queries, the process of sanitization means that DigiWise is protected against attacks such as cross-site scripting, SQL injection, data manipulation, path traversal attacks, and more. For example, if a request comes in with extra fields like isAdmin or role that aren't defined in our DTO, the whitelist automatically strips them out. Meanwhile, fields like age get transformed from strings to integers automatically. For user access controls, we protect routes using useguards with passport JWT strategies. We follow the principle of least privilege and implement providers like Card Provider to ensure only authorized and relevant routes have the necessary access. Finally, the cause origin array only allows selected websites to access our API. We designed our API to reduce unnecessary renders, minimize network requests, and for fast UI responsiveness. On the client side, performance is optimized through lazy loading, pagination for large datasets, and selective field loading to produce payload sizes. We also implement debouncing for search queries, which adds a short but unnoticeable delay so the API isn't bombarded with requests on every keystroke. React also has many tools we utilize to minimize server-side traffic. We utilize context to serve data to all the tabs of the project management page, enabling seamless navigation, and functions that provide various forms of memoization. We only call expensive functions when absolutely necessary. Finally, Swagger Auto generates our API documentation, making it easy for developers to explore endpoints and test requests in development mode. All this combined leads to an organized and secure system that loads quickly and minimizes expensive server load.
To help our team build smarter and faster, we've built a development environment that removes manual setup. This keeps everything consistent, automates the entire path from development to production. We use Docker to make sure applications run the same instead of spending time setting up dependencies. This allows us to start coding instantly. Our setup includes a Nest.js backend, REST frontend, PostgreSQL database, and an ngrok for webhook testing. With live volume mounting, any code updates change instantly, no rebuilding needed. For production, we use multi-stage Docker files to create lightweight images pushed to AWS ECR. So what we run locally is identical to our development environment. This completely removes the works on my machine issue and keeps it consistent end to end. On the front end, we went with Vite because it keeps our development process fast and responsive. It refreshes UI almost instantly, which makes testing and design logic changes incredibly quick. We configured Vike to work smoothly inside Docker and added path aliases to keep input clean as the codebase grows. For webhook development, ngrok plays a huge role. It lets us test GitHub webhooks locally without deploying to a staging server by creating a secure public tunnel to our backend. We can simulate real webhook events instantly, saving hours of development time and debugging effort. Our CI/CD pipeline powered by GitHub Actions handles everything automatically, from linting to testing, to building Docker images, deploying AWS, updating CloudFront so new code goes live instantly. Finally, to keep codebase clean and consistent, we use ESLint and Prettier, with warnings treated as errors. Altogether, this system gives us a fast, reliable, and fully automated workflow so our team can spend less time setting up environments and more time building great products.